Thing's got the
1 minute.
Scoop.
Is Gio here? Gio's ready to film and everything? Yeah, film.
Gio is here.
Digitally, whatever.
Jamie
Gio is
Jordan
ready.
is here.
Don't forget, this show will be recorded tonight and then shown to your current employer. So if you'd rather not have that happen, just put a little money over there in a jar.
It'll be your former employer after they see it.
Yeah.
Especially if you make fun of your workplace.
All right, so there we go.
1 minute,
now we
Miss
don't know
Lauren.
It's less than a minute, okay? We're down to 20 seconds. All right.
Bing bong.
Look at these little blocks. Let's see. The fashion, BDSM fashion, Object Lauren Live is giving you this note card. Oh, my God. I even sent myself an invitation. And that's it. We are ready to go. All right. Let's see if we got this thing down and running. All right. Welcome, everybody, to another great show. Yeah.
I haven't heard the...
So, everybody happy? Everybody here? Everybody ready? Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
So,
Yeah.
you know, it's absolutely amazing. I got to tell you something. I've been in First Life so long, I just wish they made new skins there.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Too bad they can't shop for a new skin.
Did you hear about the person when actually somebody from Second Life went into a taxidermist and actually asked him that, make me a new skin? How many of you saw the whole thing on MTV, right? The VMA Awards,
God.
right?
Yeah.
No.
Did you see that?
No.
I saw the highlights.
And Miley,
Yeah.
yeah, what's her name? Miley what? What's her name?
Miley Cyrus.
Hannah Montana.
Miley Cyrus, right, VMA. The vagina? No, I'm not going to say what the VMA stands for. I'll let you think about what it might be for, okay? But MTA, right. MTV is trying to shake up the VMAs, you know. Producers are encouraging audience members to jump on stage and create a new water cooler moment. Of course, if MTV really wanted to shake things up, they could play a music video.
Something different.
They haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, right. India has demanded that MTV apologize for airing indecent music videos. MTV retaliated by demanding that India apologize for the sitar. It's so bad. By the way, if you're looking at the stage, and some of you know, some of you don't know, but this weekend is Dragon Con, okay? Which takes place in Atlanta. It's a big deal. For those of you who don't know, 52,000 people show up. It really is about all sorts of things from, you know, the worlds that we're in. The largest multimedia popular cultural convention focusing on science fiction, fantasy, gaming, comics, literature, art, music, and film in the universe, okay? It's the biggest of the big. So all of you need to get your First Life costumes to look like your Second Life people and show up. But,
that's going to be hard to do. That's about $2,000 in about 4 months I got to wait.
yeah. One of the things that's interesting is if you drive through Atlanta and you go downtown and you stop the car at a red light, it's a lot like being in Second Life because all of a sudden a Wookiee, Princess Leia, and a baby will go by in a carriage. Holy shit.
That's true. That will happen.
All at one time.
And none of us knew that the Wookiee got Princess Leia. We all thought it was possible, right? But none of us were positive. Yep, and the Greenies are there too, by the way, for those of you who don't know. Yeah, the Greenies, yep, they're there. So that's Dragon Con, and don't forget to go to that. We've got a bunch of comedians tonight. We're going to move right through this, and we have Tamara Hayden coming on in 57 minutes. So, as you know, those of you who come regularly, we've got 57 minutes of stuff that we don't know what we're doing and hopefully make you laugh and smile.
I think I got
All right, starting that off, one day a cucumber, a pickle, and a penis were having a conversation. Okay, that's a good way to start joking, right? The pickle says, you know, my life really sucks. Every time I get a big, fat, and juicy, they sprinkle seasoning on me and stick me in a jar. The cucumber says, yeah, well, you think that's bad. Whenever I get big, fat, and juicy, they slice me up and put me in a salad. Penis says, you think your lives are tough. When I get big, fat, and juicy, they throw a plastic bag over my head, shove me in a wet, dark room, and force me to do push-ups till I puke and pass out.
Oh.
Oh no, we didn't tell that joke, did we?
Yes, we did.
That was disgusting.
we
What's
did.
worse is we laughed at it.
Yeah.
There's a lot more of those coming, so stay tuned
we
for
go.
all of them. We're going to fill up on all of those tonight, and only tonight are we going to have some of these great jokes that you've never heard before, like that one.
All right.
Yeah. So I got to tell you, I'm sort of tired because in First Life, I was out and staying last night at my girlfriend's, and it's really something when the neighbor at 5 a.m. is screaming at the wife. You know, it's like I said to my girlfriend, I said, "You live in a crap neighborhood." 5 o'clock in the morning, right? Unbelievable. Yeah. By the way, Second Life really needs to get some money. So from now on, if you have vehicles in Second Life, there's going to be parking permits you'll have to buy if you want to put them.
Figures.
Yeah. What? It figures? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got some good comedians. We got some jokes. Let's try another joke that nobody really likes. Okay. Guy says to his friend, "I can't remember if the doctor told me my wife has AIDS or Alzheimer's." Friend says, "It's simple. Drive her to the other side of town. If she finds her way home, don't sleep with her."
Oh, fuck.
All right. A man staggers into an emergency room with 2 black eyes and 5 iron wrapped tightly around his throat. Naturally, the doctor asks what happened. "Well, it's like this," said the man. "I was having a quiet round of golf with my wife when she sliced a ball into the pasture of cows. I went to look for it, and while I was rooting around, I noticed one of the cows had something white in its rear end. I walked over, lifted up the tail, and sure enough, there was my wife's golf ball, stuck right in the middle of the cow's butt. And that's when I made my mistake." "What did you do?" asked the doctor. "Well, I lifted up the tail and yelled to my wife, 'Hey, this looks like yours.'" No.
I like it.
One other bad joke that none of the women will forgive us for, but what's the difference between... I'm doing these so that Doc doesn't have to do them because he's coming up first tonight, all right? What's the difference between a pregnant woman and a light bulb? You can unscrew a light bulb.
Screw a light bulb.
Right, there you go. Oh,
He's a material man. He's gonna have nothing.
Thank you. Good night.
ooh, yes. And that was that, right? Let's look around a room and see. Hey, Edward Hart. Hi, I'm glad you're here. Red Lavender. How many of you guys are here for Tamara? How many of you are here for us? How many are here because... Oh, look, somebody just logged
How many
off.
are here?
I'm here.
How many of you are
I
here?
love the feature logging off,
They were
you know?
just here like, wait, this is not a porn convention? Okay, I'm leaving.
Could you imagine if only you could do that in First Life? You're standing there talking to somebody, they're arguing with you, just all of a sudden you disappear. You don't have to just log off.
You can just say, "Oh, I crashed."
Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, I mean, that would be just fantastic.
That was one.
So anyhow, here we go. Right away, right up, our one and only Doc Grunt, who writes all this stuff while driving, by the way. I want you to know.
While driving, yes.
Right.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. It is coming up on the holiday weekend, and I'm looking forward to it. Everybody knows that I collect girls, okay? But I went.
Really?
I brought a bunch of them with me tonight for that way I'd have somebody to laugh at my jokes at least. But I went and I did something I promised myself I would never do. I got repartnered in Second Life, okay?
Oh dear.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my
I partnered
God.
with a wonderful girl I've been with for over 2 years, which is that's like 70 dog years, I think, right? Or
Oh, this is going down fast.
or 2 Second Life CEOs if you keep time that way. All right. Now,
But change.
it's going to be it's going to be an interesting relationship, as you know. She is one of my slaves. Actually, she's
One.
She's
One.
yeah, she's called. Well, you know.
What?
She's called the first.
How do the other slaves feel?
Why don't you ask them?
They're slopping the harem. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. It stretches my time out. Actually, she's called the first girl, okay? Which means she gets to decide who else I can add to my stable, okay? So, I got her and these 4 90-year-old broads, okay? No, okay, all right. Honestly.
Grandma, no!
Honestly, she's wonderful, right? But now that we're officially partnered, I suspect things are going to change a little bit. Like, for example, I come home from a hard day of killing barbarian warlords, and I plop myself down on my master's throne, and she screams at me, "Don't you go tracking blood over my fucking floor! I just scrubbed it!" Master.
Play way too much Skyrim.
Or when I bring over a bunch of my friends for an old-fashioned orgy, and she starts to harp on me. "Okay, look, I'll do these guys, but you better take me dancing this weekend, Master."
Oh, yeah.
Okay, right. And, introducing her is going to be kind of difficult. "Hi, this is my wife and my slave," and I'm pointing to the same person. It's like a West Virginia family reunion, This is my sister, my mother, my aunt, and my sweetie. And you're pointing to the same person, right? Then, as with all things, as the partnership gets a few months old and we start to get, comfortable with each other, then the nagging's going to start, okay? Master. What is it, girl? I'm trying to read this scroll. I want you to whip me.
Well, get
Not
to
tonight,
work.
girl. I have a headache, okay? Why not? Is there something wrong with me? No, there's nothing wrong with you. Is it my new nipple chains? Because, I can change them if you don't like them. No, your nipple chains are fine. Then what is it? Nothing. I'm just tired. When we first got partnered, you used to whip me every day, sometimes twice on Saturdays. Well, yeah, but I was younger then, okay? Yeah, I noticed you didn't have any problem whipping the new girl you just took, so what does she have that I don't have? Well, if you must know, she screams in pain every time I whip her. You just lay there and count tiles on the ceiling. So what is it? You need some excitement? Would you like to watch other men whip me? Would that turn you on, Master? No, I don't want other men to whip you. Now, other slaves? We can talk about that. Look, maybe we just need to get away to some strange city where nobody knows us and you can learn to love whipping me again. Well, you know what? That's a good idea. I could bring you to Lawrence with me some week. I know some nights on stage I feel like I'm getting whipped, but since they don't pay me, they let me stand up here and take it, okay? I'll bring the handcuffs and leg shackles. The real heavy ones you like. Okay. And the ball gag? Yes, the ball gag too. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Where's my whip? Okay, so that's living with a slave. Now, have you heard about this? This is an absolute true story. I call this a case of equal opportunity abusing. The massive resources of the National Security Agency have sometimes been put to use eavesdropping on agents' love interests. Have you heard about this? The Wall Street Journal broke this. The NSA even gave such intelligence collection a name. Lovint, L-O-V-E-I-N-T. They were spying on their own spouses, okay? But officials told the Journal Lovint was the most willful misconduct by NSA workers ever. Each instance of Lovint spying was against a spouse or a partner, and each was met with administrative actions of discipline that were quote-unquote appropriate. Right, the NSA appropriate. Okay, now, Twitter has, of course, seized the opportunity, as this is the trending sarcasm right now. So, here are some of the top Twitter responses to the NSA spying on their own spouses. These are some of the best NSA Twitter pickup lines. I know you come here often. So can I get your number? Oh, wait, there it is. Honey, I know exactly where you've been all my life. What? We have the exact same iTunes playlist? We go to the same bars? We have the same interests? Imagine the coincidence. Hey, honey, can I have directions to your heart? Because I already know where you live and how to get in. And how about this Saturday? Are you free? Wait a minute, I know you are anyhow. So your VPN or mine? Now look, what's a nice girl like you doing on the corner of 5th and Guadalupe Avenue at 8:37 p.m. anyhow? My God. I'd buy you a drink, but this email from your boss says you got a bonus, so how about you buy me a drink? And here's one for Haley. You know, you look way prettier in person than through your webcam. I just want to tell you that.
Creeper.
You know, I feel like I've known you since you got that cell phone for your 15th birthday. And
Oh, dear God.
my favorite, baby, your Verizon phone isn't the only thing I want to tap. Now, changing scenes to something a little bit serious for a second here. This is a tough time at work for me. You know, I'm in the car business, and this time of year is when the manufacturers all come out with their new models. And thanks to the ever-rising EPA standards for fuel economy, new cars have got to get better and better miles per gallon to be legal to sell in the USA. Now, the way it works is the standards are overall for a manufacturer, meaning the average of all your models has to be, let's say, 33 miles per gallon. Now, of course, large pickup trucks that get like 12 screw with that number, so the manufacturers have to come up with other models to get very high miles per gallon so that the average overall mileage stays at 33. So, of course, every manufacturer is coming out with their hybrid vehicles. Everybody knows their Toyota Prius, but now they're coming out with completely electric vehicles. No gas engine, just an electric motor and a really big fucking battery with a seat and a steering wheel, okay? Now, as I said, I work for a Highline sports car dealership, so our customers are used to talking horsepower and how fast they got their Roadster up to on the Beltway. Well, you know, with the advent of totally electric sports cars, to me it's like putting on 4 rubbers before you lay a hot chick. It looks the same, but the feeling just ain't there, guys, you know? So now, my car line is producing a completely electric sports car with a rating of 98 miles per gallon, which to me doesn't make sense, since if it don't burn any gas, how the fuck they even give it a rating? But nevertheless, that raises the overall standards for all the other models, so the high and mighty can go burn gas at a rate just about the same as the Apollo rocket launching off, and sleep with a conscience knowing that somebody else is paying the price for their excesses. But there is a price to be paid for this. The average rating of a totally electric vehicle is, are you ready? 88 miles. And after that, it takes 4 hours to recharge the battery, if you can find a charging station. So don't plan any long trips. So basically, what we've succeeded in producing is the fastest 18 holes of fucking golf you're ever going to play, and you're going to look good doing it, okay? Now, everybody thinks that this loophole in the miles per gallon standards is new, but one state in the United States has actually achieved an overall statewide miles per gallon rating of 300 miles per gallon. They're to be commended. It is West Virginia. Now, the way they got this, they combined the miles per gallon rating of 18 million mobile homes with the 900,000 vehicles sitting up on blocks in front of them to get that rating. Now, this is something that is going to be totally unscripted, so I'm going to set this up here. I got, as everybody knows, I'm into gadgets, and I got a new cell phone, and I installed my Seriously voice service, okay? And I discovered that it has a sense of humor, okay? So this is totally unscripted, so we are going to just try this and see if it doesn't make me fall on my face.
All right.
Seriously, tell me a joke.
What happened?
It's waiting to tell me. I don't want to play any music. Tell me a joke.
Which song would you like me to play?
It has sarcasm too. Okay.
Okay.
All right, that's not going to work.
Play.
Tell me a joke.
Which song would you like me to play?
Okay. I don't want you to play a song. I want you to tell a joke.
Tell me a joke.
Oh, fuck that. Okay, all right. That's not going to work. Okay. Bomb. Okay, now, along with that comes technology. Now, you know you're living in the year 2013. Think about this, folks. You know you're living in 2013 when you accidentally enter your PIN number on the microwave, okay? Or, if you haven't played solitaire with real cards in 10 years, okay? Or, if you have a list of 15 phone numbers to reach your family of 3. Or, and this is pretty common, you email the person who works at the desk next to you. Or, your reason for not staying in touch with friends and family is that they don't have email addresses. Or you pull up your own driveway and use your cell phone to see if anyone is home to help you carry in the groceries. And every commercial on TV has a website at the bottom of the screen. Now, think about this. Leaving the house without your cell phone, which you didn't even have the first 20, 30, or maybe 60 years of your life, is now a cause for great panic, and you turn around to go get it even if it makes you late for something. Or if you get up in the morning and go online before taking a leak or getting your coffee. That's 2013. Or if you start tilting your head sideways to smile. Think about that one, and then you can laugh. Okay. Or if you're listening to this and you're nodding and laughing because you do pretty much all the same shit that I do. Now, for my final act, because seriously let's just try that again. Tell me a joke.
Which song would you like?
Fail.
That itself is a joke. Okay, all right.
So you got the low IQ Siri model, right?
I bought the phone. I bought the phone at the same place I got the iPad. So
He's
obviously,
ripped it too many times, so it's not
Okay.
thinking straight.
I'm just going to play you a song and see what she says.
play me a song. Yeah. Shut the fuck up! I'm recharging. Okay, now. Okay, here we go.
Ask her, tell me a song. See what she says.
Okay. Play me a song.
No, tell me a song.
Which song would you like me to play?
It's stuck on music. We're going to try this one more time. Serious. Oh, shut up. Seriously, tell me a joke.
She shut up.
Seriously, tell me a joke.
Which song would you like?
Oh man.
Okay.
I think you need a new woman.
That one's going back to the store tomorrow.
I
Okay.
figured it out. Siri
Blonde.
is yours Kajira in First Life.
That's what it is, yeah. Just nag, nag, nag. Same shit over and over. Okay. Now, before you get the eggs out and start throwing them, tonight, for my last trick from the late night shows, here comes the lightning round. Everybody hold on. President George W. Bush had to go to the hospital. He had a little heart surgery and he's okay, but he blames it all on the fatty food served by White House butler Forrest Whitaker. Doctors told him to avoid any heavy exertions. That means no reading. He had a little touch of coronary artery disease. One of his arteries was clogged with old Al Gore ballots. So, you have your regular Oreos and they have double stuff Oreos. But somebody measured the things, and it turns out there isn't twice the amount of stuff as the regular Oreos. No double ammonium bicarbonate, no double thiamine mononitrate, no double calcium phosphate. Now, if you're at home measuring stuff in an Oreo, you should take a long, hard fucking look at your life. Last night, Anthony Weiner was at a forum for all the candidates for mayor, and he actually got booed by the crowd, which got even worse when he stood up and was like, boobs, where? Mayor Filmer of San Diego had 14 women come forward alleging he sexually harassed them. In San Diego, Hooters restaurants are refusing to serve Filmer because they say he's disrespectful to women in his office. The CEO said, there's a time and a place to be disrespectful to women, and that's at a Hooters. Now, a spokesman for Hooters said, we don't want him as a customer, but we sure love him as a manager. And according to a new poll, over 50% of New Yorkers say they won't vote for Anthony Weiner no matter what. The other 50% say they're going to wait until they see all the other candidates' penises. It's called comparison shopping. Now, the maker of drones want the media to stop calling their unmanned craft drones. They don't like the name drones. The manufacturer said we prefer the term surprise visitor. According to a new study, most men would like women to occasionally pick up the check. The study also found most women would occasionally like to be paid as much as men for doing the same job. And in North Korea, they developed the first ever smartphone, just like an iPhone. But the problem is, if you ask Siri questions, she reports you to the police or asks you if you want to play a fucking song. Now, these phones, it's widely believed these phones were secretly built in China and shipped to North Korea. It's hard to believe they built a smartphone because Wi-Fi and cell phone data plans are illegal there. You can't even have friends and family in North Korea. And finally, some park rangers in California found a plot on which someone was growing 500,000 pounds of marijuana. They assumed this pot was grown by humans, but I wouldn't rule out bears. Now think about it. They sleep 3 months a year. All you ever see them doing is rummaging through the trash trying to find food, and their leader's name is Smokey. Thank you very much, and enjoy your evening.
Bravo, bravo. Let's give it up. Let's give a good hand. And oh, that was great. That was really good. Wow, we got stuff going on tonight, don't we? Anyhow, I got to tell you something. Yeah. You know, how many of you get IMs in First Life? You get those too, right? On your phone?
I get,
you get those, right? Yeah. I always just answer back, sorry, wrong window. I think it's a lot more fun in First Life. Yeah. You know the great thing about Second Life? Whoever those people were that used to send us note cards with saying, send these to 20 of your favorite SL friends or ask you all the questions about yourself, they're gone, okay? They've gone to another game. Right. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, do you think illiterate people get the whole drift of alphabet soup? Yeah.
That must be
How
hard
many
for people
girls
with
in Second
dyslexia.
Life have mustaches?
Dyslexia is going to be a
right?
bitch with
Not that
alphabet
many,
soup.
right? What?
I said dyslexia is going to be a bitch with alphabet soup.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Alzheimer's got to be a bitch on an elevator, right?
Oh, dear God.
Was I going up or down, or was I leaving?
Yeah.
Going or going? Or...
Where was I going? Well, listen, when you get to my age, man, you go to a refrigerator, you open up, you don't know why you're there. You can't remember what you needed.
Listen, I'm only 19 and I do that.
Yeah, do you? Yeah. You ever notice everything in your refrigerator you bought, and yet you open the door and you don't want any of it? How does that work?
You open the
It's
door,
not
you're
like
like,
somebody else
am I
put
not
things in
standing?
your refrigerator.
Oh, that takes effort. Nope, not that.
Yeah.
Guess I'm not eating
Some
for 2
things
weeks.
I really like about Second Life, you know, you don't have to worry about weight gain. I don't have to shave my legs. Well, I don't do that in First Life either, but...
Thanks for that visual image.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the nice thing in Second Life is I can afford diamond jewelry. Yeah. And there's only really one STD in Second Life. You all know it. Carpal tunnel syndrome. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you one good thing about Second Life. I get full value out of my computer. Yeah. Guys, tell me, what about you? Do your fingers sometimes slip off the keyboard because you've been doing something earlier?
Not gonna
Girls,
answer
come on.
that.
How many of you have erased the letters OMG on your keyboard already? Worn them thin. Yeah. So anyhow, man's out shopping and discovers a new brand of Olympic condoms, and clearly impressed, he buys it back. Upon getting home, he announces to his wife that he's just made. She goes, Olympic condoms? She said, what made them so special? There are 3 colors, he replied, gold, silver, and bronze. Well, what color are you going to wear tonight? She asks. Gold, of course. She replies, well, why don't you wear silver? It'd be nice if you came in second just for a change. Terrible. All right. Well, we're going to bring up next, right here, because we got comedians that have a lot to say tonight. So, Catboy, you ready to get up here?
Woo! Yeah.
Yay.
Sexy.
Yeah.
Yay! Hooray,
Yeah. Let's give it up for
hooray.
Catboy, and don't forget,
Hey.
in a half hour, we've got Tamara Hayden, and she is going to rock the house. If you guys haven't heard her, well, what can I tell you? And if you have heard her, you know you're going to stay and listen.
She's one of my
All right,
favorites.
it's all
I love
yours.
Tamara. Okay. We are like about a fraction of a second away from going to war with Syria. And last night when I was watching the news, the lead-in story was Miley Cyrus twerking at the VMAs. Seriously.
Yes.
Thank you, mainstream news, for jamming my head up my ass. It's comfy.
Thank you,
up there.
Canada.
God. But anyway, I want to share a photo with you of what went down at the VMAs. I just downloaded this a few minutes ago, and I'm going to stretch this out for you, right? Because Miley Cyrus is acting like she's gone batshit crazy. This is what happens when Pedo Bear goes mainstream. You know who Pedo Bear is. No one knows who Pedo Bear is. Okay.
Pedo Bear, sure. We all know Pedo Bear is.
Okay, we don't know. But one thing I love is it's not really how crazy Miley Cyrus is, but it's the reaction that's really, I think, is most funny. And I just want to share this photo with you because I think this photo says it all.
Yep.
The Will Smith family reacting to Miley Cyrus. The better title would be The Will Smith Family Reacting in Horror. You know, Will Smith, he sort of looks like...
That's the best photo of all.
Look at his son on the far left-hand side. Look at that expression on his face.
Yeah,
like
but look at him.
You know what he's staring at, right? You know what he's staring at.
like, bitch, come back in 5 years.
Damn. But I love the look of Will Smith's son because he looks like he's lost all hope in the world. Like, oh God. So sooner or later, I'm going to be the one up there, and this is what I got to deal with, and it's going to be even worse by the time I'm up there.
Actually, he's thinking, is that what white girls are like?
They thought that shit was crazy.
Delete that.
I think his brain is broken.
Oh, that was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, I was reading the news today, and there was a recent study that showed that single men wash their bed sheets on an average of only 4 times a year. Ow.
Oh, God.
That is disgusting. But by a remarkable coincidence, that's also the number of times they happen to invite a new lady over to their apartment. All right. Now, has anyone heard recently that on the news, the Attorney General for New York City, Eric Schneiderman, is filing a lawsuit against Donald Trump about Donald Trump University for $40 million of fraud because they say that, his university is just a giant scheme, and then he wants to take him to court over it. Now, there's the 9 most outrageous, and I'm going to list them for you, the 9 most outrageous complaints about Trump University. I'm going to go through them. And number 1 is Trump's hand-picked instructors didn't actually know anything about real estate. You know that this was sorry, I should have mentioned that. This was a how to make money through real estate scheme type things. The instructors didn't know anything about real estate. None of them had ever actually attained a real estate license, and none of them had any professional or amateur experience in actually selling real estate. And apparently he handpicked every one of them. He must have handpicked them from the back of a Home Depot from his limo or something. Like, hey, who wants a job? Get in the car. Ooh. Okay, one of the things that the people were promised for some of these seminars, some of them that cost up to $40,000, by the way, was that they were promised that Donald Trump himself would show up and they would get to have a photo op or get their picture taken with Donald Trump. Well, he never actually showed up. The picture that they had taken was with a cardboard cutout of Donald Trump.
No way.
Yes way.
That's what was reported.
Absolutely true.
You know, that actually is Donald Trump.
Yeah. And despite the fact it was a cardboard cutout, the hair was still more convincing than the real thing. People said maybe he should at least borrow the mannequin from Madame Tussauds, and he said no way because he doesn't want to lend out his toupee. Not happening. Okay, the 3rd most common complaint. Donald Trump rigged his approval ratings. He has a 98% approval rating, and the approval rating was taken from only surveying the people who like the course. And I'm saying, if you only surveyed the people who like the course, doesn't that mean your approval rating should be 100%, not 98? Just saying. Okay. Another thing was that Trump University pretends that it is an actual school where you get an actual degree, but you don't. This has absolutely nothing to do with, like, this certificate is not recognized by anything. It's not recognized by any educational degrees or anything like that. But Trump said it's like a college degree. The same way that, say, walking around with a party balloon stuffed down the front of your shirt is like being pregnant. Okay, now here's one. Number 5, Donald Trump did not develop the curriculum himself, and this leads to number 6. Most of the secrets were not secret at all. Most of the curriculum was actually stolen from Tom Vu seminars from the 1990s on how to make money through buying distressed properties. Can you remember that? Remember Tom Vu from the early 90s?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So apparently whoever wrote the curriculum for the show, all they did was just regurgitate the same thing that this guy already did. Okay,
Donald Trump.
now here's
What else?
Yeah, what else? Number 8, the whole thing was a giant bait and switch scheme. Now instead of, when you go to these seminars and you pay out all this money, instead of actually learning anything and how to make money, well, the only thing the seminars did was they promised you how much money you could make. But if you want to know the secrets, you have to pay out more money. This is the exact same scam I had to go through when I was getting instruction manuals and Macromedia software. I mean, it would tell you what the software was capable of doing, but if you want to know what buttons to press to make it happen, you had to spend more money. Thank you, Macromedia, for that nonsense. And here's number 9. Number 9, the students, I like this one. The instructors instructed the students to lie on their credit card companies to raise capital for the investment. Now, to be fair, this is the one thing that students would learn that Donald Trump actually practices himself in real life. Lie to your creditors.
Yeah.
And there you go. And that's that. All right, now I want to move on to something else right now, and that is I had a rather interesting conversation on the internet about I was having with some other people, and that was, what were some innocent things that you believed that was true when you were a kid, but they were really, really dumb, right? Like some kids believe that when you went up in a plane, of course the plane is so small that they thought that you shrunk or something. I believed that when I was a kid. There was a couple of kids that believed that. But someone asked, well, what did you believe? And I said, well, honestly, when I was a kid, I didn't have any younger brothers or sisters, and I had no friends that had no infant siblings, so I knew nothing about babies. And honestly, I thought babies were retarded. That's what I thought. I really did. And I didn't know any better because, like I said, I never had any exposure to babies. So one time, when I was 8 years old, there was this girl in my neighborhood that wanted to play house. So she said, I want you to climb into the pram and pretend that you're a baby. It's, okay, whatever. This is strange things that girls ask you to do. It's just, I have to get used to that, I guess. Now, the prams back, anyone knows what a pram is? A pram is a baby carriage from olden times, but they're actually enormous. Like if you read Angela Ashes or any other tragic novel, like when the father would go out and get drunk and the kids had to carry them home, you either had to use a wheelbarrow or you would get this pram. Right, and the bartender would just dump the parent into the pram with his arms and legs hanging over the side, and you'd have to wheel him home. Right, that's how big this thing was. So I climbed into this thing, and I tried to say, well, how the hell do I make myself look tiny? And what I did was I pulled my arms into my shirt, and I stuck my hands out of the sleeves trying to look tiny. But instead of looking tiny, what I wound up looking like was a deformed thalidomide child whose arms were only 4 inches long. Right? Get in the pram, the girl tells me to act like a baby. What the hell do I know about babies, right? The only time I ever seen babies is when mothers were taking them to the shopping mall when they were screaming and acting up. So instead of me just going goo goo gaga, I was going all like I was some sort of retarded, horrible ogre baby. Right? So the girls push me down the street, and adults are passing by, and they stick their heads in the pram, and they're going, oh my, what a lovely, holy shit, kill it with fire! Eventually, the girl got fed up with my shit, and she rolled me down a hill. She just, boom, just pushed the thing down the hill, down the street. Now, instead of using common sense and jump out of the pram right away, I actually made a conscious decision that I had to remain in character and ride this out. So try to envision this. There's a pram rolling down the street with a deformed thalidomide ogre baby flapping his hands that are attached to his shoulders and howling in panic like a wolf that got kicked in the nads really hard, like, and no one lifted a finger to come to my rescue. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, they just said, no, just watch the pram roll on by, and they just let it go like it was for the best. I mean, this only worked to reaffirm my belief that babies were stupid and not worth anything. And that's my thing for tonight, everybody.
Bravo!
Night, everyone.
Bravo! Whoa, great job. Yeah, thanks so much.
Much funny.
Yep, we got one more comedian coming up really soon, but up until then, we got a couple things to go over here and have a little bit of fun. Don't forget, we got Tamara Hayden in 20 minutes. Meantime, yeah. Did you know there are Second Life stunt doubles? I bet you guys didn't know that, right?
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't that be something to want to become, right? And I never got the whole concept of Second Life costume jewelry. I mean, what the hell is that? But anyhow, my last joke, then I'll bring up Flitter, and then I might get a joke in before Tamara gets on stage. We'll see how everything goes. The Lone Ranger was ambushed and captured by an enemy Indian war party, and the Indian chief proclaimed, "So you are the great Lone Ranger." Not Johnny Depp, okay? The Lone Ranger. In honor of the Harvest Festival, you will be executed in 3 days, but before I kill you, I will grant you 3 requests. What's your first request? The Lone Ranger responds, "I'd like to speak to my horse." Chief nods and Silver's brought before the Lone Ranger, who whispers in Silver's ear. Horse gallops away. Later that evening, Silver returns with a beautiful blonde woman on his back. As the Indian chief watches, the blonde enters the Lone Ranger's tent and spends the night. Next morning, the Indian chief admits he's impressed. "You have a very fine and loyal horse, but I will kill you in 2 days. What's your second request?" The Lone Ranger again says he wants to speak to his horse. Silver is brought to him, and again he whispers in the horse's ear. As before, Silver takes off and disappears over the horizon. Later that evening, to the chief's surprise, Silver again returns, this time with a voluptuous brunette, more attractive than the blonde. She enters the Lone Ranger's tent and spends the night. The following morning, the Indian chief is again impressed. He says, "You are indeed a man of many talents, but I will still kill you tomorrow, so what's your last request?" The Lone Ranger responds, "I'd like to speak to my horse alone." The chief is curious, but he agrees, and Silver is brought to the Lone Ranger's tent. Once they're alone, the Lone Ranger grabs Silver by both ears, looks him square in the eye, and says, "Listen very carefully. For the last time, I said, bring posse." Okay. Okay, Flitter.
Oh dear, here we go. I'm lagging like a son of a gun, but I'm gonna try this.
Okay,
Right,
well, you
first
try
off,
it.
do not
See-
comment on the appearance. It's a long story, and I don't have time to tell that. But
That's what I always say. No one buys it either.
yeah, it's kind of yeah. We get boned on that. The likes of us. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, I was listening to Doc earlier today with his performance. By the way, he did a wonderful performance. I love you, man. I love you.
Thank you.
But he was getting on about cell phones, and you know, everyone nowadays has a cell phone. Even your grandparents have a GD cell phone. But it's like our lives orbit around this little rectangular piece of steel, but it's yet not even a sphere. I can't disagree, though. I'm one of those people that just can't part with their phone. So every few minutes I'll be, you know, checking my phone and you know, flipping through stuff. I'll be like, oh, look, I have 0 missed calls, 0 new texts, and the Facebook frontier is quiet. Man, I'm a loner. Then I remember that I had 0 incoming calls, 0 texts, and I have 3 friends on Facebook, Mom, Dad, and Grandma. I used to have 4, but then Grandpa died. And anyways, I'll be sitting there or standing there, no difference, with my phone, just messing around with it. And I have one of those phones, those sliding phones. And how many guys have sliding phones? How many? A lot of you? No? Okay.
What's a sliding phone?
Sorry.
The flip phones, the sliding.
Oh, those
phones.
things.
Oh,
Right.
you mean the Captain Kirk phones?
Kirk phones.
Yes, the
Yeah.
Captain
Oh.
Kirk phones. Or the sliding ones that go up and down with the keyboard. Well, you guys know how addicting it is to just slide your phone back and forth.
Right.
You
I
know,
see what
click,
you
clack,
mean.
click, clack.
Yeah.
Well, it's lots of fun until sadly I get a call from my mom wondering why I called. And I'll be like, hello? And I'll be like, oh, hi, Mom. No, I didn't mean to call you. No, I'm not at a bar right now. Yes, I know I don't have a girlfriend. No, you don't need to rub it in. No. Don't set me up with somebody. I really have to go, Mom. Make dinner. Yes, 2 a.m. Love you. Not really. Bye. So later on, I'm going to bed, getting really sleepy, and all I hear is coming from my phone because I got one of those klaxon alarms, you know, like from like the spy movies. And I jumped out of bed and I'm wide awake, and I grabbed the gun that I always keep by my bed in case of, you know, my feelings get hurt or something, you know. I'm going around corners like they do in the movies, like looking all cool, like James Bond in his dinosaur pajamas, and I get to the room where I hear the alarm going off, that and I realize it was my phone, and nothing like a text alert full volume at 3 a.m. to get the blood flowing. But someone actually texted me. It was my mom. And let's see. I read my messages first, and it says that Grandma died, and I was like, damn it! Now I only have 2 friends on Facebook. But getting on to grandparents, my grandparents are always talking about how young children these days are, and they always need their help, like with manners and clothing, and apparently I always need a goddamn fucking haircut. But you know, I'm really not the one that needs help, because just the other day my grandma got an account on Facebook, so like right away I blocked her, just like I do with all of my other family members. But of course, when she finally figures out how to use the search box, and she can't find me, so what she does, she calls me down and asks me, you know, oh, why am I not on your list? And of course, with my quick thinking skills and brilliant mind and wits, I tell her, well, when I was on my computer, I was sitting there, and there was this big ray of light came down through our window and blew up our computer. Bam! And of course, she believes this and says that, like, I had to call my mother right away. So I jumped to my feet and I told her, I'll get it. So I grabbed the phone, dial in a fake number to start to talk. And I'm like, hi, Mom. Yep, it's me, just calling because Grandma wanted to hear about the computer. Uh-huh, all right, I'll tell her. And I put down the phone, and I turn to my grandma, and I say, it's all right. The maintenance guy just arrived. And Grandma sighs in relief and goes back to her computer. So the next day, I'm on my page, and when I found a picture of me while I was in the bathtub when I was like 2, and underneath it was a comment saying, I guess your computer got fixed because I found you. But of course, I didn't recognize the profile, so I started to freak out. That's when I found out that my grandma made a fake account so she could be my friend. Maybe I'm the one who needs help after all.
That's great.
Alrighty, and to end my set, I was listening to a good song, and I'm gonna kind of hack this off. But there's a song by a Canadian legend named Stan Rogers. I'm not sure if any of you guys know him. But he was one of the greatest folklore singers in the world, and unfortunately died in actually saving people in a plane crash because the plane was on fire. So kudos to him for still being a gentleman and a scholar to the day he died. But he sung a song called the Dogwood Disaster is what it was called, and it's about this woman. And I'm just gonna monologue it out instead of singing it because I can't sing for shit today, so or ever. But anyway, so there's this woman. And she was an older woman, and she's one of those women that, you know, carries around the duster, the broom with her, and she's one of those women that stands where she, you know, cleans where she stands. And she had a garbage crew, and the garbage crew would be polite enough to come pick up her garbage. And she had this shed, and everything was so neat and tidy, and those trash cans, man, had like a mirror sheen. And this trash guy was a new guy, and he didn't quite know exactly who this woman was, but she had this fence around the property, and it was a 6-foot-high fence, and there was a door to that fence, but it was never locked. So the guys could go into the shed, because the trash bins apparently need their own shed. And they go and they'd empty the garbage. And what do they have but this Doberman pincer prowling outside? And this dog was quite menacing. And he used to like to play a little game with his 2 old tennis balls. He thought he was the only dog in the world with a bionic jaw. So these garbage guys were like, you know what? He had buttoned himself up, and his wife had nagged and nagged that he put the choker on and put the thick jacket on and all that. So he walks in, he's like, I'm gonna, you know, I don't get paid enough for this crap, but I'm gonna try it. So he walks out, and he's instantly mauled by this dog, and has no idea, but the dog could not get at his neck, and he thanked his wife for being a bitch, so, because he made him wear this choker. And the woman is screaming from the window, don't worry, boys, just kick his balls, boys, kick his balls. So this guy takes his size 9 steel toe boots and boots that poor little dog between the arse end. And it went something like, and hit the ground and was writhing in pain. And the woman had this look on her face, and she said, no, not that. And he couldn't quite realize until the point where he looked down at the 2 tennis balls and finally found out her meaning of kick his balls, boys. He was then sued because apparently this dog was used as a stud and lost his job, and then, yeah.
Stud became dud.
The stud
We've
became
had 2 jokes tonight about kicking dogs in the balls. Go figure.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but that's all I have.
What are the
for
odds of
I want
that?
to get this singer up on the stage, but I thank you guys for coming up today, and I hope you had a wonderful time.
Right.
Well, let's give it up for that. Right there. So for those of you that are looking for good comedy, it will be somewhere else tonight. We've all tried our best. Anyhow, listen, there's the Second Life Awards coming up this year. I want you guys to know they're going to be voting in around Thanksgiving. Yep, the Second Life Viewer Awards. Categories you can see if you want to apply and get in them. It'll be best male disguised as a female. I might try that. Could be.
Me, vote for Catboy.
Yep. And we have Tamara coming up. She actually does everything live. People ask. But there is a category, Best Recorded Singer Pretending to be Live. Yes, that's going to be in there. Best Multi-Avatar Puppeteer. Haley might win that one, you know.
Thank you.
Best Prim. That's going up as well. Oh, here's one. I don't know. It's between Flitter and perhaps Catboy. Best Animated Short Furry.
Oh, piss off.
Is Brick still here? Yeah. Best Foreign Abby. And too bad our dear friend is not here, Marley. She would go in for Best Costume Inventory Sorting. Yes, without a doubt. Does anybody know whether the Heimlich maneuver is considered first or second base?
It depends if you unzip your fly or not.
Yeah. Several people in Second Life have had to see a shrink in First Life, obsessive-compulsive behavior, trying to align prims. How many of you spent hours trying to do that till somebody showed you how to do whatever, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I've lied to somebody once, told them I had to get home because of an emergency, only to log into Second Life. Have you ever done that? Like,
Yeah.
Really, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah. Have you done it to your spouse?
Kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
Plead the fifth.
Take your laptop to the hotel room. Well, that's not sketchy.
Have you noticed that if you're in Second Life, you eat, sleep, and bathe less?
And only change your sheets 4 times a year.
Yeah.
I'm going to come off stage because I've got plenty of time, but I'm going to let Tamara set up on stage because from the last time we did this, it took a little longer. I don't know what it was, but so we're going to give you a whole 10 minutes to set up. Doesn't mean you're on. Just come on and set up on stage, okay? Oh, God, I got messages coming in on my phone. Oh, yes, let's see. Oh, this is my son. Says bring your own alcohol if you're coming over tomorrow. Gotta love that, right?
I brought you into this world. I can gladly take you out of it.
Yeah, right. 10 best reasons to be in Second Life. Learn to build, right? Right?
Yeah.
Learn to script. Learn to lie.
That's always helpful.
Already knew how to do that.
And do comedy.
How many people, a lot of you people can do things, but how many people have actually gone off and bought various XXX parts and then just took them apart and left them around in your house, in Second Life? Oh, my labia, that's over there. I think I left it in the kitchen.
You know they have 3D printers now.
Yes, 3D printers, I know. Yeah, well, look at us. We're 3D liars. Anyhow. Yeah. So, anyhow, here, look at, what is Tamara wearing? Nothing. Oh, my God, she must have seen the MTV Awards last night. You gotta love that whole thing, right?
I was upset.
You can't sing. If you can't sing, do what she did and become a star.
Will Smith's face.
Yeah. So anyhow, I'll get 2 of these in. We got time, don't we? All right. So Mr. Smith got himself a new secretary. She's young, pretty, sweet, and polite. And one day while taking dictation, she noticed his fly was open. Upon leaving the room, she said, "Mr. Smith, do you know your barracks door is open?" He didn't immediately understand her remark, but later he glanced down, saw his zipper was open, and decided to have some fun with the new secretary. He called her in and asked, "By the way, Miss Jones, when you saw my barracks door was open this morning, did you notice the soldier standing at attention?" She said, "Why, no, Mr. Smith," she replied sweetly. "All I saw was a disabled veteran sitting on 2 old duffel bags." Yeah. An attractive young girl chaperoned by an ugly old lady entered the doctor's office. "We have come for an examination," said the young girl. "All right," said the doctor. "Go behind the curtain and take your clothes off." "No, not me," said the girl. "It's my old aunt here." "Very well," said the doctor. "Madam, stick out your tongue."
Jeez.
Oh, yes. Anyhow, so we're setting up, and we've got only about 5 minutes, and we're going to have Tamara up and running. And guys, I'm telling you, if you haven't heard her before, make sure you stay, because this is just a pre-show going on right now. She's fantastic, all right?
That's my first time.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you go to a doctor in First Life, and he knows that whatever you got because you were in Second Life? Can you imagine?
That'd be scary as hell.
Yeah, right. Isn't that something? Yeah. Oh, we know about that little shoulder thing you're having. That came from Second Life. You've been playing that way too long, right?
Carpal tunnel syndrome.
Yes.
All right, Lauren, I'm going to try this one more time, okay? We're going to try this
Okay. You're going to try it again? Good. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do
try
it. All right.
Tell me a joke.
What?
What do you call a pig that does karate? Pork chop.
I didn't hear it. What did she say?
What do you call a pig that does karate? Pork chop.
Pork chop. Okay. Let's see how good Siri really is, okay? You ready for this?
Another joke.
Should have played
Watch
a song.
this. Watch this.
Why don't aliens eat clowns? Because they taste funny.
I can't hear it.
Why
What'd you
don't
say?
aliens eat clowns? Because they taste funny. Jesus.
Okay, here's one. You ready for this one? Siri, who is Doc Grun?
Oh, God.
I didn't find anything for who is Doc Grunge.
Doc Grunge. According to her, you're Doc Grunge.
Grunge, that's me.
Yeah. Zynga. I hear Zynga, started their whole career by playing Zingo in Second Life, right? It must have come from Second Life, right? Don't you think? Jay Wheels, just tell us when you got her running, okay?
She is ready whenever you guys are.
She's ready whenever we are. We'll go one more minute. I want to look around the room and thank everybody. I want to thank all the regulars who come here every Tuesday, the new people that enjoy themselves here. We have a lot of fun. If any of you ever want to do comedy, I know 2 clubs in Second Life that might let you do something there. No, please let me know if you want to
We're the first stop, apparently.
Yeah. I liked they had done television today on Bloomberg, the guy who owns the Bunny Ranch and 18 other ranches or whatever. He said if Anthony Weiner and Bill Clinton had come there, nobody would have ever known. So there you go.
Oh, God.
Yep. All right, so just let her go when you want to let her go, and I'll give up the mic, okay?
You got it.
We're ready?
Whenever you are.
We're ready. Come on, what is this? It sounds like the Dick Van Dyke Show here. Are we ready? Are we ready? All right,
Okay,
she's live. All right, everybody.
All right.
Good night. Love you all.
Good night. Thank you,
What stream is it on, Lauren?
You were
Is it
very
on the music
funny.
stream or is it on my...
Music stream.
Stream.
Okay, I gotta put on the music stream before I look like an idiot.
Everybody music stream.
All right.